Welcome back, everybody, to Fantastic Fall Festival. You can see that what we have now is Marker and Karla. They're in front of two different frames, and we'll briefly talk about those. But what we'll be moving into here in the next hour is we're going to talk about some of the differences from the domestic machines to the mid arms, the long arms, and trying to get some understanding of why would somebody use one over the other. And we'll look at some of that. But before we do so, and I know this is going to be a little bit different than last time because getting to this is a little bit challenging. But let's go ahead and see if we can zoom in on that wheel for us and get that we still have the wheel. But I'd like to go ahead and do another drawing. And I'm going to go ahead and also what I'd like to do is bring up a couple key things that pertain to part of the process as we're streaming. I'm going to bring this back up here really quick too. I wanted to do another shout out. If anybody's joined us here in the last hour or so, if you go to graceframe.com or the Fantastic Fall Festival website and click into the Fantastic Fall Festival, you'll notice up top there's an orange banner that says no tricks, just treats. Just treats treasure hunt. And what this is it's going to be an active live treasure hunt, and it is done through part of the quilting, the quilt show and tell. And I'm going to kind of pull that up here, our quilt show and tell. And as you go down and as you're browsing the different categories, Hall of Shame, Wild Imaginations, etc., and as you're looking through that, periodically we're going to be popping a win into one of these categories. And if you click on it, you are the winner and you get to redeem what that is. So again, that's an exciting way to encourage people to browse the quilts. If you have not already submitted one, we would encourage you to simply submit your quilt. And then if you haven't entered in our chance to win with all the giveaways, we would encourage you to do so as well. We are giving away a whole lot of different prizes. So far, we've already given away and we've chosen and we've done master cutting collections. We've done hoop frames. Here last week with our first one, we actually gave away a 15R, so our most popular stitch regulated mid-arm machine on the Q-Zone frame as well. Today, we're going to be giving a few other things. We're going to be giving away another Q-Zone hoop frame. We're going to be giving away a couple light bars. We're doing the True Sharp, so stay with us. We're going to be doing, and again, selecting the winners for those as the time comes up. And again, as we continue over the next couple weeks, we're eventually going to, on November 6th, give away a master cutting collection. We're also going to be doing a kind of a quilting suite, which is the 19-inch machine on our professional series frame, the Continuum, and with automation. The automated system is part of that. So we're excited to keep you in the loop on what's going on, but make sure to sign up if you haven't already for your chance to win. Really quick, again, before I go to Mark and Karla, let me just bring this up. We haven't really talked about the current show specials. I am going to move here down to the bottom, and we're going to move up here. So I'm sorry for that quick scroll for everybody. But we do have hoop frames that allow you to use your domestic machine. And again, you're going to briefly see that coming up, but you can use that with your machine, and you'll see that that's on sale for $889 US. And with that one, we're also adding the free luminous light bar, the 5-foot light bar that you're getting a light station. And this is valued at just over $1,900 is what we're doing here. And you can get that for $889. We have a similar frame. It's a professional version of that Q-Zone hoop frame for $1,189, also with the free light bar. We also have Queen and our King professional series frames are also on sale. However, I'm going to get to these a little bit more exciting because what I love is if you're interested in quilting and you're looking for a system, we have our systems that you can purchase with a 15-inch machine. And if you buy a 15-inch machine, we're actually including the frame for free, a choice. You get a Q-Zone hoop frame or the Queen frame. You can choose at no additional cost. And so that's the deal. Buy a machine, get a free frame. And so that's an amazing deal right now. And maybe really quickly, and I know we'll maybe spend some time over here, but Mark and Karla, maybe just share with us a little bit on your thoughts regarding why the 15s are so popular with our different quilters out there.
Yes, that's exciting to share that. I'll let Karla start.
Well, okay, you won't be able to shut me up. However, you hit me on the head when you're ready for me to stop.
Okay.
The 15-inch is an easy machine to transfer from a domestic machine. There's not a lot of bells and whistles with it, so it's very, very easy for you to use. You can thread it easily. The tension's easy to work with. Also, the throat space. It's not a long arm, it's a mid arm. So that throat space makes the quilting a little bit larger area. However, it's not so much that you feel like, oh, can I do this? You won't be afraid. And you can just hunker in and really smoothly glide it across your quilt and do all your wonderful quilting. And so I love the 15-inch machine. It's the one that I've quilted with from the moment that we started making it. And it was just an easy transition because we were working with making the frames for the domestic machines. We were the first company that came out with a home machine quilting frame. And so from that point that we started making this machine, it's just been a very easy transition. And now we've got the longer arm machine. So it just kind of makes that evolution of your quilting that much more of a success. So back to you, Mark.
Actually, that was great. I didn't even have to hit you on the head because that was perfect. But for me, I can't stress this enough on the transition and the how simple it is to use. You know, the fear of the quilters, right?
Right.
It's the what do you call it? The stress or the fear. I don't know how to use. I got my domestic machine, who I've been using for years, and now I want to get a long arm, and so you keep thinking about the heartaches that it might bring. And so for me, it's how simple it is to transition from the domestic, Karla, to the full 15-inch machine and the throw space. And so there's no fear. It's easy to use, easy to maintain, and cost.
Right.
You know, we have cost that is very affordable. So between being simple, affordable, easy to maintain, that's a win-win-win right there. That's a triple win. So that's why I love it.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate the two of you sharing those thoughts and that information. One thing I love to go back to, and I do talk about simplicity, right? As a quilter moves into this realm, that 15-inch machine has been so successful because, you know, out of the box, it comes with the handlebars as part of that assembled. You can pop the screen into there. We also have 3 options. Again, let me kind of bring back up the site here to let everybody see this just briefly. But with the site, you can see that the pricing is pretty awesome. We actually have a non-stitch regulated version on sale for $3,499. So that just mid 3,000 price point's fantastic. We have our most popular one on sale for $4,499. Remember, these do come with the free frame. So this is machine and frame combo, everything you need to get started quilting. We also have a professional version, touchscreen. Our screens can angle, so if you're a taller person or a shorter person, you can make sure you can see those easily. And on our Pro, it's actually a touch interface, which means we actually even have more features and more functions. And the machine quilts a little bit quicker at 2,000 stitches a minute. So again, those that are looking for more information or want that, I would encourage you to log on to the Grace Frame website. Feel free to always give any of our account executives a call. You can call 1-800-264-0644. You can see that on the screen there, but feel free to give our people calls. We really like to talk about just having a conversation to decide what you're looking to do regarding quilting, what some of your struggles are, and then if there's an option, anything from potentially just the lower hoop frame up to we have today, and you're going to see our professional 21-inch machine with automation, so fully loaded system at about $15,000. So quite a range, you know, just under 1,000 to 15,000. So Mark, do me a favor, let's go back to that wheel. I kind of jumped in with some of these promotions, but let's look at giving some goods away, and let's go back there. I know Mark's pretty pumped about giving away more goods.
I love giving away the ready?
So I don't know. Like if we're looking at this, Mark, maybe you need to ask. Remember, we need to do a question, a poll out there. You need somebody to respond to us. What's the question? Maybe you go to Karla.
I have a good one. It's earlier on, so you that have not been watching, Mark had a picture that he showed you of a gentleman that was bald, and he has a specific name, and in his office when we were taking the virtual tour of the Grace Company. Does anybody know who that person was?
I love that. Love that question.
Somebody got it. Awesome, you're watching.
All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to pull in the answers. We got right in. We got our first Facebook winner. Oh, well, sorry, I'm clicking. You're moving so quick. This is the first Facebook winner here. Oh, and it's still moving on. What do we have? We have Ron Schaefer. Ron, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining us on Facebook. We also have our first YouTuber. Can we get that down? We're going to do a spin for Ron here, and then it looks like we also have a winner in the other category from our YouTube as well. But let's go ahead and spin, Mark. What are we going to give Ron? What are we giving Ron?
Ron, he's going to get.
What's it gonna be? Here it goes. Oh, True Sharp 2. Oh, nice. Ron, what we're going to ask is that you email, again, sales, S-A-L-E-S, sales@graceframe.com for you to be able to get that one and receive the True Sharp 2, again, the electric sharpener that does work with the 60s, the 45s, and the 28mm rotary blades. So it is one of our #1 selling items outside of the True Grips, which are the non-slip pads. People love that rotary blade sharpener. We've had it for several years. Great success you'll have with that. So I'm just going to do a shout out. If anybody, again, has other questions or comments as we get into part of this next section, I would ask that you come back and you contact our customer service team, our account executives. You can also feel free to email in at info@graceframe, info@graceframe.com too. But we're going to go back now. I'm going to just make sure I'm all on the same board here, and I'm going to be choosing this next winner. This was the YouTuber, but the first one says Me Clean, which isn't the actual correct one. So I would love to say, I actually think it's maybe a typo, but I'm going to take the legit one that's on the screen, because everybody's going to say, well, it's not really Mr. Clean. Was it Mr. Clean? So, and I also want to say Amio's Munson, I think she maybe won. So, but it says Me Clean, and I'm going to be pulling up. This is the official one that we had was Mr. Clean. So we're going to go ahead and give this to Diane G. Diane G, congratulations. We're going to ask for you to go ahead and, again, email sales, S-A-L-E-S, sales@graceframe.com. And let's go ahead, Mark, give that wheel a spin and see what we're giving her.
Let's do it. Diana, ready? I hope you're sitting, Diana, because this is going to be fantastic. Here it goes. Ooh, My Comfort Cutter 45.
All right, Mark. So with the My Comfort Cutter, we're going to up this just a little bit. Not bad. This is an amazing cutter. Most ergonomic cutter out there, period, hands down. What it does and what it eliminates as far as stress and pain. But Mark, do you have a combo? Can we make this a combo? What I would like to do is add the ruler, which is one of the most important parts. And so our longest ruler and the non-slip pads. So maybe if you can see, I don't know if you can pull that combo out and show what we'll upgrade that to.
Yeah, just upgrade it to the combo. I love upgrading. So here it is. So this is the combo that Nathan was talking about. This, not only does it have the 45 comfort cutter in there, but it has the True Grips, which keeps your ruler from sliding. And then it comes with the most popular 6.5 by 24.5 ruler. So you get those long cuts. So you got also the edge. So all of our cutters, if you remember earlier, we talked about the cutter guide that's on the cutter, and then you have the ruler track, and those together give you the straight cuts every time. So this is an easier, safer, more accurate cutting system. So wonderful upgrade. So Diana, you have from a original 45 comfort cutter to a whole combo package.
Great. Again, Mark, again, that is our #1 selling combo because it's the entire system, which is, and if you don't know, we have a track and a guide on those rulers that keep you nice and straight all the way down. Put any comments in. If anybody's owned the True Cut, share with us what success you've had with that too. We'd love to hear any shout outs from you in the comments with that. But I think we're really ready to move into part of our next section. And I was just trying to think if there's any other Halloween pieces we ought to be doing, but let me just here, give me a second, Mark. Why don't you talk, and Karla, a little bit about briefly what we're going to be showing them here in the next hour?
Yeah, absolutely. So behind both of us, we have the professional frame with 3 machines behind Karla. And behind myself, we have 3 machines on our hoop frame. So what we're going to talk about is the transition, going from your domestic to the long arm, Karla. We're going to talk about really the pros, and there's not too many cons of upgrading. So there's going to be more pros. But we're going to talk about the differences with the machines, the frames, and basically the growth path that you're able to have, starting with one machine to the other machines. And so that's what we'll talk about.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Quilt Festival. Woohoo! Yeah, some people say they don't like looking at me for a long time because my eyes kind of bug them out. But maybe not. It's always a little bit of party in the front. I mean, business in the front, party in the back. It's what we like around here at Grace Company. So, Mark, I've used those true cuts back and forth, cutting 100 miles an hour. Safe as all get out. Easy, safe, and accurate. Thanks for sharing it, and thanks for letting us win those. Love them to death. Great to be here on the Halloween week. How come everybody's laughing at me? Just my normal piece. Normal guess. Oh, wait, I'm just kidding. Sorry for interrupting everybody's show. Didn't mean to jump in there. Oh, wrong channel. Sorry.
You know what? He always jumps in on the channel. I don't know why we give him access to our channel, because he always but one of these, we'll get Nathan back. He was hijacked. So I love Nathan's twin. Nathan, there's Nathan. Your twin came on again, Nathan. Your twin.
I do not know where that came from, by the way. A little crazy. Yeah. Sorry about that.
But we're back now. So sorry, a little distraction with what we had going on. But Mark and Karla, let's go ahead and turn the time over. Again, everybody, what you can kind of expect from what we have going on, we are looking at helping you understand physically and in your mind, kind of make an attachment to what some of the transitions are from starting with the domestic machine. And we actually have samples so that you can see different and various of sizing regarding the machines, the small machines, the mid-arm machines, long arm machines. We even are going to do a quick demonstration on what that means when you add computer automation. As we move into these segments, we often start getting a whole lot of questions that pertain to potentially some of the different things that we're seeing. We'll try to answer those as we go along, but I'd also encourage you to give us a call, 1-800-264-0644. We also have a few other people here on the chat that are going to help try to keep up with all the different comments. But again, we appreciate it. Mark and Karla, over to you. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get busy.
Karla, you got to jump off.
I'm not jumping.
We're going to move these offset here. I'm going to come off camera here to put that over there. Okay. So, Karla, we've done videos over the last several months, right?
Yes.
On the hoop frame.
Lots of videos.
Lots of videos. We talked about the growth, right? We talked about what machine could go on the hoop frame, and now we get to show them kind of that growth. And so as we can see here, the growth of the machine. So we have our domestic camera. I'm looking at the camera. We have our domestic machine at the far end here. Then we have our 15-inch machine and our 19.
Yeah.
And the growth that we're talking about is on the domestic, we all know the throw space, right? So that is the throw space we're getting. And with the domestic machine, again, we've talked about, Karla, with the you're comfortable with the domestic machine. So we started for several months talking about the domestic on the hoop frame, and that is exactly what we still want you to do. If you have a domestic machine and you're wanting it and that's all you can get, we show that wonderful price of $889 to get the hoop frame or $1189 to get the Pro. So you can still use your domestic machine getting the frame only, right? And you get a free light bar. So a free light bar with that. So we start with your domestic machine. And again, the throw space is what may be a concern, okay? And we don't really know that it's a concern right now.
Because you're just starting out, and it's all that you have to work with. So the domestic machine is awesome, and you can do any size. You can quilt any size quilt that you want to with your domestic machine. So don't let that you think that you need a long arm machine to quilt a king size quilt. You don't. You can quilt it with your domestic machine, but you will eventually get tired of taking it on and off to piece your quilt and then putting it back on the frame. So that's one of the advantages to stepping up to a mid-arm machine.
Absolutely. And Kristen here, we're going to read this comment. It says, my mother and I have back and neck problems, which is pretty common, right? When you're doing
it's common for any quilter or moms, period.
We are looking to move from the domestic to either of these. Do they really help avoid the pain involved in resting a quilt in a domestic without a frame? And without wrestling that quilt, that's where a lot of those.
It's the biggest challenge. Even when you're starting from hand quilting and you're sitting there on the couch and you're bending your head down a lot and you're just the weight of your shoulders, so it's not very good posture as you're quilting. With the frame, it eliminates all that heavy bulk and the managing of that fabric. So you're moving your machine across your quilt and doing your quilting for you, rather than you pushing your quilt through the arm of your machine and you're struggling and you're challenged. And I saw this great picture, and we need to do this. One lady was sitting clear down there where Mark is at the end of the table with her little machine, and she had this big, I swear it was larger than a king size quilt. It was rolled up, and it was like, the picture was worth 1,000 words, because I thought, how in the heck is she going to move that through the arm of her machine and quilt that beautiful quilt? It was pieced beautifully. However, with the frame, you don't have to worry about that, because you're just going to take your machine and glide it across your quilt using the carriage and everything. And so, yeah, that eliminates that. But we'll have to do that picture because it was awesome.
It was awesome. Another one, Judy, and then this is exactly kind of what we're talking about. So Judy, she started with a domestic machine on a 5-foot frame.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So that's where she started. And again, that's what we want. We want that start.
Right.
You have to start somewhere and to move away from some of these, right? She goes on to say she upgraded to a 12-foot frame with the 15-inch machine. And again, that's exactly what we're saying. And that's what a lot of quilters would do.
Right. And she changed her frame, but you don't have to. She had room for a 12-foot frame. A lot of quilters won't have room. So with your setup over here, Mark, you can transition to a 19-inch, which is a long arm machine, and you can use your hoop frame. So it's a nice, easy transition, and you don't always have to swap out your frame.
Absolutely. So going, and those comments are wonderful, and we want those comments. So continue those comments. We love to hear those who upgraded. We love to hear the stories of, I have problems and I want to go this route. Can you help me? So that's what we're here to help. Now, when we have the domestic, again, we have that smaller throat. Okay. Now from there, we have our 15-inch machine. So that is the one that Judy said she did, 15-inch machine, right? So now we have a longer stroke. So you have this whole movement with the 15-inch machine, and that is a big jump, Karla.
It is. It's a huge jump. From the
domestic to the 15-inch machine, right?
But it's a comfortable jump. Yes. I want to stress this. It's a very comfortable jump from your domestic to the 15-inch machine.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
why, because we don't have long arms, and so the 15-inch is just a nice, easy, smooth stroke. It's not like a big long arm that you've got those 26 long arms and everything, but you just don't have to sit right there. You can pull it in nice and comfortable and feel like, oh, I can handle this machine. It's not intimidating, and it's not a scary transition. It's just very comfortable and very easy and very simple.
That's right. And so that's what a lot of people think, right? They think of that intimidation of, I gotta reach forward, right, and then come back. And so, like you said, Karla, they don't have to worry about that with the 15, and even with their 19. So again, look at the throw space on the 15. Okay, so that's perfect.
Right,
and they don't have to stop there.
And from the 15 to the 19, it's another easy transition.
Yes. Yep. And then you even have a larger stroke space, right? So as you were sitting here, that throw space allows you to not have to continue to roll your fabric or to move your fabric, right? And so that as we see the whole stroke, okay, so as we see the full stroke, this is a bigger throw, obviously from the domestic to the 15, and it's very simple. Now, here's the thing with the 19. Yeah. We now know that the 19 is getting a little bigger than the 15, right? You have this wonderful throw space, covers a lot of ground. We talked about stretching out, right?
Right.
So the 19, we built in the handlebars to extend.
Such a great feature.
Yes. So with that, we can now bring this handlebar out.
Yeah, so that stroke isn't so intimidating with that extra few inches that you have with the 19.
Yes. So we got about two more inches that we have with the 19-inch machine. So that allows you to not need to go back, right? So again, the 19-inch machine, wonderful stroke. Now, there are many accessories, okay? So Lexi, or Lexia, I want to say. Did I say Lexia? She has a 9-inch machine, so she's probably asking about domestic machines. And so, yeah, absolutely on the domestic.
A 9-inch is a great domestic size to work with when you're quilting.
She has a 9, yep. So 9's a great way.
Yeah, and don't let the frame fool you. It's a hoop frame, so you can only quilt just a small quilt that fits within that area. You can quilt as large a quilt as you can fit on this frame, and so it's a hoop frame, so it just drapes over the side, and you quilt your section, shift it, quilt your next section, shift it, and then start working your way down the quilt. So it's a great combination. Okay, you can quilt any size quilt. It doesn't take up the space in your house, and it's very easy to use because, you know, a lot of quilters, they can't turn and rotate to quilt a certain design while you're quilting, so you can turn your quilt. And it's one thing I love about the hoop frame is I'm able to turn my quilt to the section I have. If I have like a circle or something I want to quilt down, I can turn it and just sew towards me, and that's easier for me to maneuver and to sew that beautiful stitch that I want to, or design that I want to.
Yes. When we talked about the small machines and any machine on the frame, people want to sit, they want to stand, right? The transition from the domestic users to even our machines, they were already sitting, right? They probably felt comfortable sitting, and so this frame, you can do both, either one, right? We've had videos in the past where you were sitting and quilting. You could also stand and quilt. And so the versatility of this frame, as we can see with the machines, you have a small machine, a 15-inch machine, a 19-inch machine. You can sit, you can stand. So the versatility of this just one frame, again, for the price that it is $889.
And this bar right here makes that transition that much easier.
Yes.
So when you're starting with your domestic machine, you'll just push this bar in closer to you, so you only have a little bit of area to work with just to accommodate the stroke of your machine. Now, as you upgrade to the longer machines, you pull that section out to increase your quilting area. So this frame does it all. It really works very well, and it's a great place to start. I love sitting and quilting. I enjoy it so much, and if you have a ruler base or anything on your mid arm or your long arm, you can pull that section out and it doesn't hit the front section, so it doesn't ruin your designs as you're using the ruler base.
Yes. Now, we went over a lot of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this video, we're going to continue to move on. We have other stuff to show. So for more information on any of these products, you can go to our website, raceframe.com. You can request a catalog if you like a catalog, but also on our website, we have all the information needed about the hoop frame and these other machines we talked about with the 15 and 19. So if you have any other questions or thoughts too, please feel free to bring them in as we're talking about it now, and we will love to answer those questions. So let's get a couple other comments too from the right Nathan, and there he is.
No, thanks for letting me come back here really quick. I just appreciate that. And I know with a lot of the different comments, thanks for those who have started with the domestic machine and that little hoop frame. We know a lot of you, as you get into quilting, this always happens. I always like the joke is, you know, you don't have to get rid of your dining room table. You can just get rid of the husband's recliner to get started. And then I always kind of joke and say, okay, just kidding, because he probably wouldn't like that. But by starting somewhere a little bit smaller, it allows you to decide and understand what your involvement will be, and then how you'll progress through that in your, you'll then be prepared when that time comes to go ahead and do a lot more when it comes to the mid arms or the long arms. Now, Karla and Mark, I know that we have that other large frame there. What I'd like you to do maybe over the next 15, 20 minutes is let's talk about not just the frame, maybe let's talk about the machines, the transition to that type of a frame. And then if you'll go through and talk about, I noticed there's 3 machines on there. And so why don't you share with everybody, why would there be 3 different machines? Now, it's not that we're using all those at the same time. We are just using them to show everybody, right? So we're just going to show them, and then you can talk about some of the different features and how those machines vary going from the 15 to the 19 to the 21. So.
Yeah, Nathan. So what what he was also mentioning with the 3 machines, we have on our professional frame, or this is our Continuum frame. And with the 3 machines, it also shows the versatility of the frame, right? With the 15-inch, 19, and 21 Pro. And we're going to go over these here. But this frame itself, we haven't even shown this frame in a video. So let's talk about this frame and the wonderful features that this frame has to offer. Much like, I forget her name, I think it was Jude. I'm not even trying to say the name, but the person who went from a 5-foot frame to a 12-foot frame,
Right.
or the Continuum, right? And so she's already there. So let's talk about some of the pros, Karla, of this Continuum frame, and really what it gives the customer when they get a rolling rail frame. What are some of the benefits and features?
Well, you get the 12-foot frame for one, and so you don't have to move your quilt in sections to quilt it. That's one of the, well, I'm going to say it's one of the advantages for a lot of people. If you don't have room, it's really,
Yes.
no solution. So if you have the room, the 12-foot frame makes it very nice to load your quilt on, and then you don't have to shift and move it. It's just you're going to unclamp it and roll your quilt up as you're quilting. So it's kind of keep the quilt in one place and just keep rolling and quilting as you go. Now, like on the hoop frame, the advantage to this frame as well is that this piece extends out to accommodate the longer arm machines, just like the hoop frame. So we've thought of everything. So you can start out with even your domestic machine, if you have the stitch regulation or speed control, and use it on this frame, because there's no place to put the foot pedal, and that's why I say that. And then you can just be quilting, and the transition's that much easier. So you can go from the domestic on this frame as well to a long arm.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, unlike the hoop frame, with the king, we're limited, right? Really, with the king frame, we can only do a king size
You
quilt.
have to quilt a quilt within the parameters that the frame will allow.
Which means you could go smaller.
Right.
People.
But you can't go larger like you can on the hoop frame.
Now, the quilters, they love that, that they can go through and do a larger quilt or smaller quilt. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead. There's a question. So we have, do all 15-inch machines have the stitch regulator?
Good question.
That is a good question. We do have one that does not.
Right.
And that is our M machine, which is actually the one behind me. This is our 15M. It's equipped, though. You can actually
add the stitch regulation when you're ready. So you can start out in manual mode, which would be just like working with your domestic machine. And then when you're ready, add the stitch regulation to your 15.
Yep, exactly. And what this 15M does is give you the price point of $34.99. So you can start with a larger machine for only $34.99. And it is manual, but like Karla mentioned, we can get that stitch
I
regulation.
love the manual mode. It just gives you a nice feature and gets you started quilting, and then you'll be ready for that stitch regulation. It's just like going from a domestic to a mid-arm machine. You take it in steps, and then you just add those nice features as you can afford them and as you're ready.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, going back to the Pro frame. Right, we have casters on here. So if you're looking to get casters, that is available.
Right.
This rail, you can get a batting rail and an either rail.
And the batting rail just goes down underneath.
Yep. And then the either rail goes right through the throw of the machine, right, Karla? That allows them really to never have to. You don't have to raise
or lower the sides. As this pole fills up with fabric, if you don't have the idler rail, you'll have to raise each of the sides up off of the machine so it doesn't start rubbing. And that's just one of the things that the idler rail will eliminate. And it's a nice feature. But you can't use the idler rail with the domestic machines. It doesn't fit in there. So it has to be a longer arm machine. And you will lose a little bit of throat space with the idler rail on all frames.
Yes. Now, much like our machines, we talk about how easy our machines are. So if you're looking to get a mid-arm or a long arm, the Qnique machines are the perfect machines because, again, we talk about the simplicity of it. It's very simple, easy to maintain. Same with our frames.
Right.
You know, we talk about how easy our machines are, but our frames, again, are easy to assemble, right? We get a lot of questions and our demographic.
Right. So you don't have to have somebody put these together for you. You can do it. They're just so easy, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's right. So
yeah. And there are a lot of videos out there to load your fabric, how to set up the frames. So yeah, take a look at our website or our YouTube channel. Sign up and subscribe.
That's right. Okay, so we've done a lot of talking.
Yes, we
You
have.
like to demonstrate.
I do.
So I think we're going to go ahead and get some of these machines on, get them rolling. And I love seeing the stitches. So let's go ahead and start with the 15 Pro.
Okay.
And now we've already done a video on the 15 Pro. We talked about the 15 Pro and the features. So we can find, again, those features on our website. You can also watch the video that we did on the 15 Pro. So right now what we're going to do is go ahead and let's get this going on the 15 Pro.
All right, the 15 Pro, just so that you know, it's 2,000 stitches rather than the 1,800, and it has a touch screen. And on the touch screen, you can check out online the different features, but it's awesome. And it just, oh God, I love the quilt. You just hear that little beep. It's called the overspeed. It just means that I started moving the machine faster than it can actually sew. So it beeps at you and tells you, okay, Karla, slow down.
All right, let's go back to Nathan for a couple of thoughts.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
As I've gone through a lot of these
comments, I've responded to several of them. We have others doing the same, but I just thought maybe I could bring some of these things up. Again, just a reiteration is if we know there's probably going to be too many questions for us to be able to get through with all the different things from a demonstration standpoint. So, feel free to go to our website, www.graceframe.com. That's GRACEFRAME.com. And let me go ahead and put that on the screen for us all to kind of see here. So you can go to our website and we have information on the specific frames, on the specific machines. And I bring this up because one of the other questions, as they were looking at the domestic machines and they were looking at the Q-Zone hoop frame, was an ask about the QCT5. Those that don't know, we have computer automation, and I just kind of want to go, and you'll see that towards the end of our demonstration, we'll kind of point out some of those features with that simple automated system. But you can, and there are selected domestic machines that you can add computer automation to. And I would just be very clear, yes, automation does work on any one of the frames that we do make. So it does work on the Q-Zone hoop frame, the Q-Zone queen frame. It also works on the Continuum frame. And with that, if you start out with it on your domestic machine, that same automated system runs the 15 systems, the 15R and the 15 Pro. It runs the 19, and it also runs the 21 and the 21 Pro. So there's no need to change or upgrade that software and that hardware if you buy that, and it will transfer with you as you migrate or you decide to upgrade from machine to machine to machine. So I thought I'd kind of throw some of those things out again. Again, encourage you to go to our website, make a call if you want to, call our 800 number. Let us go ahead and help answer any other questions that you might have. So again, thanks with that. Go ahead and continue with those, the 15, the 19, and the 21 there on that frame, and share some of the features on those for us.
Right, Karla, on the 15 Pro.
All right, well, on the 15 Pro also you have on the front screen where you don't have on the 21, okay, not on the 21, I'm sorry. They talk in your ear, and so you kind of get a little sidetracked of what you're talking about. You can put your needle in the down position or the up position. You can turn your overspeed off. It's very easy with the touch of the screen, and you can have your needle jog, so it will jog down towards your quilt, so you can pinpoint exactly where you stopped, so you can pick it up right where you left off. And then you can change your stitch mode. So all you have to do is go into base, manual, precise, cruise. So you can change it just with the touch of the screen. And that's easy because you don't have to fiddle with the buttons at all. So that is just a little bit about the 15-inch machine. Plus, you get the more stitches. It's got a faster motor, larger motor, so it's 2,000 stitches and rather than 1,800. And so it is smooth. I love quilting with this machine. So I'll stop there. Okay.
Perfect. So Karla, just like what you did there, okay, now we talked about this in the past. I will say again, out of the box experience that the customer that you will get is exactly what we want, which is easy setup.
Right.
Again, put it on your frame. It won't take long to get the machine out of the box and put it on your frame. I also seen a couple comments with the setup of the frame, and there are a lot of easy, our instructions are easy to follow. And again, with the price point, it is one not to pass up. So going to the 15 Pro, we also have another machine that we can go up from there.
Right.
Which is our 19, which we talked about on this one, but now we have it on a Continuum frame. So the 19, let's talk about some of the features the 19 has.
The 19 has still the 2,000 stitches per inch. It is a lighter weight machine. So it's going to be a little easier for you, not quite as heavy feeling as other machines. It's just going to glide across your quilt very easily and very smooth. It also is more like a domestic when you're threading your machine.
Mm-hmm. And what do you mean by that?
So it just is easy to thread.
Very self-explanatory on that one. So good job, Karla.
So let me just turn it on. The screen looks a lot like the 15 Pro. Okay.
Let's go ahead and get that away.
Sorry, and I'll cut my threads. I didn't bring them towards me. But I'm just going to pull this towards me, and I'm just going to put my needle down, bring my bottom thread up, and I'm just going to turn it on. And it just glides so smooth across your quilt.
Wonderful. Okay, so now I'm hearing these machines.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I can hear, and I'm sure the viewers can hear this, I'm right here, is how it's silent. It's very silent, and I wish we can get a better picture of that stitch because Karla, that is just really, really amazing.
If you can, yeah, it is. Take our word for it.
Yes. All right. So between I'm going to go back here a little bit. We have the 315Ms Nathan posted, right? We have our 15M, our 15R, and our 15 Pro. I see some comments come through. I want to just make sure we can make clear on the 15M, we can go ahead and get regulated.
Right. You can add the stitch regulations. So if the price point is very attractive to you, get started quilting. And then when you're ready, you can add that stitch regulation.
Yes.
It's an accessory that you can purchase, and we'll just send you that little packet, and you can just add it to your machine, and then you're stitch regulated.
Yes. Now our 15R to our 15 Pro, those two come with different screens, and it's actually different electronics in there. So you won't be able to get the 15R and then get the 15 Pro features. If you want the 15 Pro, you got to make sure maybe an upgrade on that one. But it is different electronics. So I just want to make sure that's clear because we have the 315s. You can't transition from the R to the Pro. So, all right, going to the 19. Right. We talked about the electronics and the speed of the 19. It is just a machine that I love. My wife loves it.
Yes,
she has
I love
the
it
19,
too.
and you love it. I know a lot of viewers who have the 19 is perfect for them, right? So going from there again, transitioning up to this point, we went all the way from a 9-inch machine to a 15-inch machine, a 19-inch machine, and we have two frames that it could accommodate
both of them.
So. All right, so now we have our 19-inch machine. Are there any questions we have from the viewers that we can help answer with the machine so far up to this point? Because we would love to answer some of these questions. Yeah, so the frame, we have a question come in. What is
This
the
is a
frame we
new
are working on
frame.
now? This is the Continuum, right? With a few features to it that we've updated from our first Continuum.
Right.
That's one thing that Grace Company we've always wanted to do. Every time we come out with a product, we want to make it better. We do some improvements, and so we're actually calling this the Continuum 2,
Right.
With these small features. So different ratchet systems, pretty much the same look. We did add a couple things that are a little different from the bungee styles, right? Into the ratchet systems.
Right, and it's so easy to put together. And now I just want you all to know that I put all of these frames together myself before they ship out the door. And I put the sewing machines on and I sew with them. So any improvements that are made, we test them and we go forth and we really try to work through all the little kinks. And as a quilter, it's very important for me to let you know how important the transition and also how important it is that our quality is there. And just know that it's very easy to put together, and that's why we do make improvements. And we are the innovators in quilting. We see something that needs to be made and we go forth. We don't copy anybody. We find a solution and we come up with a way of fixing those problems. So
absolutely. And then Stacy's sun green on there. So my husband, son, and I put mine together in an afternoon. Very good directions and diagrams. So that's exactly what we're saying. And we're not just saying that just to say it. It is true. We don't want to sell anything that is.
We don't want it to be
good.
a back-breaking experience.
Yeah, we want to make sure it's good. So the setup on that is perfect. And then Bonnie doesn't work on the Viking Epic 2.
Yes, it will work with the Viking Epic too, because on the Viking Epics, you have the on-off switch, so you don't need a stitch regulator. You can just turn it on and you don't need to use your foot pedal. So those machines that have the larger stroke and that on-off switch, they're awesome because you'll need the top plate. Now the top plate and handles does not come with the Continuum frame or the Continuum 2. So that is an accessory if you want to use your domestic, like your Viking Epic, that you will have to purchase to put on. The bottom carriage comes with the frame, but the top plate and handles does not. So, but it's not that expensive to start out with your Viking Epic and then move, to a longer arm when you're ready.
Yes. Okay. So now we have our 19. 15. Wonderful comments again. So continue these comments, continue these questions as well, because we would love to get to the questions as many as possible through these live events. So bring them on, and when they post them on the screen here, we'll love to go through them. With that said, the other machine we have here is our 21 Pro.
They do exist, everybody.
And what she means by that, the 21 Pro has been such a very popular machine that we're actually on back order. But don't let that stop you from ordering. We've been fulfilling the orders when they come in, and so we've been doing it at a reasonable pace with this. Just know that it's been a very popular machine, and so if you're looking at a 21 Pro, this is a great opportunity to still get that order with the whole free frame too. Remember,
it's a great setup. So get signed up now if you can afford it, and even ask questions with our account executives. They're very knowledgeable, and if they don't know the answer to the question, they will find out.
That's right. So any of these have those special prices again. So let's just make sure that we take advantage of this fall festival. And buy a frame only, get a light bar, buy a machine and get a frame.
Oh wow.
These machines right here, the 19 and 21, if you buy the machine, you get a free frame plus a light bar.
Oh.
So keep that in mind. But we'll get that to later in the program, right? So let's go back to the 21 Pro. And now let's talk about the features of 21 Pro. Let's go ahead and maybe slide the 15 down a little bit and the 19.
All right.
Give you some room for this.
Oh, so I forget to
All right.
All right.
So Karla, now when we're talking about these machines, why would somebody want to get the 15 or the 19 or 21 Pro at this point if they're looking? What would cause them to maybe move up if they wanted to?
Oh, they're just ready for that next step in their quilting. They're just ready for more quilting area. With the 9-inch machines or the smaller machines, you only have so much quilting area. And, you know, you will get tired of it, and you will get tired of having to roll your quilt more often and having to shift it more often because of the throat space. So that's one of probably the key features of transitioning to a midarm.
Okay. Now, with that, is there, again, please bring the questions in as we're going, because now we're going to 21 Pro. There's a lot that we've covered. Again, our website goes in as well, but if you have questions, we can also answer them. Tina, so do you sell casters that can be put on the hoop frame to make it easier to move around the room? Yes, we do. So the casters you can add on. In fact, this one has casters. It allows us to move in and out of the studio, so you could do that. Cindy, can the hoop frame be set up and folded up quickly? I love that folded up. You know, a lot of people ask about the folded up part, but she asked, can it be folded up quickly if you don't want to keep it set up all the time? So with the hoop frame, it doesn't fold up. I think that was Cindy. It doesn't fold up, but it is easy to take apart.
It is. It's really easy to take apart.
So very simple. So it's attached by the legs and the top here. You just take the legs off, and that would take just a few minutes actually to get it taken down where you can store it elsewhere if you wanted to. Charlene, what is the frame you're working on now? So the frame it is.
This is 10 foot.
Yeah. Yep, 10 foot. And what frame is it?
It's the new Continuum 2 frame. It's the frame that's going to replace our current Continuum frame.
Yes. It is 10 foot. And with that also, Charlene, and all the rest of the viewers, the Continuum is available in a queen, in a 10 foot. And so you could also get it in a 12 foot. So the Continuum you can get is an 8, a 10, and a 12 on that one. Okay. Let's go ahead, and we've talked a lot. I know my mouth is getting right. So let's go ahead and bring Nathan in here with a couple of comments.
Maybe I'll just come in with a couple things. And maybe I know our next hour we've got a lot more giveaways, so stay tuned. We're going to be doing some giveaways next hour. But right now, I just thought I'd come back. One of the other questions that came out is, and let me just kind of share everybody. It's been, I know that there's this pandemic, and I know there's been a lot of separation with different individuals out there. You know, I would know this person in my family. I had a nephew born here clear back at the first part of this year, first part of February. Haven't seen him, haven't been able to travel. They haven't been able to travel. In fact, my in-laws are barely right now going to be taking a road trip out there to go visit with him. He lives in Virginia, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. So again, knowing that there's these different situations, I kind of bring this up because business has been a little different. You know, we in our traveling, it's been a little bit different, and socializing is a little bit different. I just bring that back because I just want to say again, thank you everybody who is helping and participate with part of this live stream. We have had amazing success and support this year as we've continued to do so. And so I just wanted to put this out with the Continuum 2. We don't have a big announcement for it. It's actually crept upon us a little bit quicker than normal. And yes, you can look online. I'm going to say next week because this week it's just so new. We're just barely telling you because it's in front of you, but knowing that this is the frame that we'll be selling next month. So I'm just kind of giving you a quick heads up that it's new enough. And then our dealers can say, why didn't you tell me? Well, because we still don't have things live because we have sold enough of the other product that we're actually 3 months ahead of what we had scheduled. So we're having to shift, which we thought would be a middle of December to January. To the 1st of November. So thank you, customers. A couple key differences. Setup is very similar. Structure is the welded steel tubing, very similar. We have a couple slight variations on how we adjust the fabric layers. If you have a domestic machine, we have a lot more fine-tuned adjustments. So it does make it easier if you start with the domestic, or if you're going to run the 15, the 19, and the 21 without an idler rail, it makes it easier to raise the sidebars to keep that at the right level of the machine. We have a new bungee clamping, not the clamps, but the way the bungees can be adjusted on the side of the frame is a little bit different. And then we have a new ratcheting system. It's enclosed. It's a spring-loaded ratchet system, something that we've done several times, and we've been able to hone that process so it makes it look a little bit more clean, a little more simplified. Those are the key differences. And then, like Karla mentioned, Karla, thank you so much. I know I just love your passion when it comes to part of what we do for our quilters and our customers and the different users out there. Is we really would like to say that we know the frames, we know the products, and we design them based around your input and what will make them most easiest to use. And it's been our business. I mean, we've been around for over 35 years, and I think we've been doing frames for more than 20 something. We do a lot of parts and pieces for a lot of brands, and we would love to say that we are the professionals in the frame industry. So, thanks for that shout out. But quick touch on that Continuum 2 coming to market here, shipping with orders. In fact, if you place an order today on the 21 Pro, or you have one, you're going to get moved to this Continuum 2 because we've sold through so many. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. So thanks for your patience as we've moved through this. So outside of that, please feel free to call our 800 number with questions or log online. A lot of people are still wondering about compatibility, if they have stitch regulation for your machines. We have it for several machines, several brands in the industry, Vikings, Foss, Brothers, Juki's, Genome's, Elna's, and more. I would encourage you to Baby Lock and more. So give us a call, find out if we have compatibility, if you're looking to put your domestic machine on either one of the frames. The hoop frame, you can use it without stitch regulation. You do not need a speed control either. So I just thought I would kind of share those couple key things with everybody as we move on. And I think we're now moving over to the 21 Pro system. So this has been accepted in a way that we weren't really anticipating. And I guess I would say that because we start with consumers towards the bottom and we build up. And we continue to fine tune our products, and people are like, hey, we love this, but can you do this? And we've been able to answer that call in our 21 with the 21 Professional, the 21 Pro, for that specific reason. And we're excited to show it to you. So Mark and Karla, over to you again to share a little bit more regarding our 21 Pro. And then it also looks like there's automation on there as well. And I'm hoping we get to hear a little bit about that.
All right, thank you, Nathan. So as we look at this, Karla, let's talk about, again, the features in the 21 Pro. We have a larger screen.
Yeah,
right?
It's nice.
It's a 5-inch screen.
Mm-hmm.
We also have extended handles on this as well. But let's talk about the screen features that the machine has that the other touch screen features don't have. Right? So 21 Pro has a 5-inch screen. And what are some of the cool features that are built into this screen?
Well, can you even see? Which one would be the best one to move it down here? Okay, me on this side? Okay. Well, you just like the others, you can touch through your different stitch modes.
And how many stitch modes do the machines come in? So this is also
4 stitch modes. You get your regulated precise. When you are sewing and you stop moving, the needle stops. You have your regulated cruise, which the needle is constant movement. And then you have your baste, which a lot of machines don't have. So you can baste across your quilt, and manual mode. You have where you change it from single stitch. You can change your settings right here on the front, and then you have a bobbin estimator, which is awesome. The question mark is the little manual that tells you some features. If you're having troubles with something, then you can just click on the question mark and it'll pop up. And then you also have the needle jog. So, and then you can see that you have your bobbin estimator button up here. So you have your bobbin estimator, you'll wind your bobbin, and you'll put in about how many yards is on that. And then when it starts to get low, it'll start turning. So you can see that this is red. We're probably low. And then it has your overspeed button that'll flash at you when you're moving faster than the machine can sew. So a lot of great features and a larger screen, and it makes it very easy for you as a quilter to just tap and continue sewing.
Wonderful. Okay, now that is in the 5-inch screen. So now let's look at, we have this larger screen, okay?
Right.
This larger screen we have on, that is our computer automated system. And it could actually be put on most machines that are compatible. So we have our domestic machines that find the list for compatibility. We have all of our Qnique machines are compatible with this. So looking at any machine, this automation is compatible with all of our Qnique machines. And again, most domestic. So for that, you would want to go to our website to find the compatible list of what machine is compatible with automation. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and talk about the automation. We have two versions of the automation. We have the Quilt Motion Beginnings and the Quilt Motion Pro, both of which are on sale this month for over 25% off. So, and that is a fantastic deal if you're looking at getting automation.
It is. Automation is fun. It's like the next step in your quilting. So yeah, check it out and see what the features are on the different different beginnings and the Pro, and then the gold card features. Check all of them out.
Yeah, absolutely. With all of our product that we mentioned, of course, we have our website you can go to. We have the fantastic prices that are going on right now.
Oh, wow, yes.
But we also have dealers located all around. And so we do recommend.
Wonderful dealers.
Yes, wonderful dealers. So if you have a dealer close by, give them a call because they have the same promotion. Plus you have that local support. So give them a call. But all the prices we're talking about now, again, through our website, you can give us a call. You can order. You can also go through your local dealer as well. So, all right. So with the automation, the Beginnings and the Pro are the two that we have. Beginnings is perfect for those who are looking to start automated quilting.
Very simple.
Very simple, right? It allows you to pick and place patterns, and that's pretty much what a lot of the quilters want to do, right? You just want to be able to pick a pattern and quilt it. Pick and quilt, pick and quilt. You don't need to worry about the design element because all I'm wanting is to get patterns from the system onto my quilt.
Right.
Beginnings, that's what it's really known for, is be able to just pick a pattern and you can place it. It does come with over 200 patterns.
But you can also purchase patterns as well and add them to your library of patterns and designs.
And that's how you would grow the library with Beginnings, is by purchasing them and then implementing them into the software for you. Very quick and easy on that.
And you spend a lot of money doing it because it's fun.
That's right. There's also ways you can manipulate your patterns. So not only can you just get the patterns, but you want to manipulate them as well, right? You want to twist, you want to rotate, you want to flip, you want to be able to customize your pattern where you want them on your quilt. With that said, almost any placement that you have, you can put it in, right? A triangle, an octagon, square is the main one, but there's really, you have a way to adjust a pattern from here to put it on your quilt exactly where you want it, right? Now, that's Beginnings. Now we have Pro, our Quilt Motion Pro. You can do all of what I mentioned with Beginnings and more. So with the Pro, it comes with the design element built in. So if you want to go ahead and design your pattern from scratch, you can do that easily with this. Now, I know probably some of you or most of you are thinking, well, I'm not computer savvy. I need my grandchild to help me with my iPhone or what have you. So with that, you don't need to be computer savvy, right, Karla? You don't need to have a background.
I am certainly not computer savvy, but it's fun.
No. So with that, these things that we're talking about, they're very easy to get the pattern on there. Our screen actually walks you through that process. And in a minute here, we'll have Karla go through that process of getting a pattern from the screen onto your quilt in pretty much like 3 simple steps. Those steps are really, you got to pick your pattern, we need to place your pattern, and we need to quilt, right? So you got to pick, we got to place, we got to quilt are really the 3 main. Outside of that, we can get into the other features. But let's go ahead and get a pattern, and let's go ahead and get
you decide which design you like.
Well, I already did the beach ball earlier off camera, so let's get something on camera. Mine was the beach ball. So let's get something on camera.
So decide, Mark. I'm letting you decide.
Okay, she's not letting me pass this one.
No.
So we'll go ahead and get one. I don't know if we can get so on the screen. So real fast, Karla. Nathan is shown on the screen. So that is a process, kind of what we talked about, right? So we pick a pattern. That's number 1, right? So it's going to pick a pattern. And that pattern we're going to pick. We're going to do, let's do the bear.
Okay.
Right? Okay, now we picked a bear. And on that same screen Nathan had pulled up, we pick it and we got to place it. So if we look at that now, so now it's time to place a pattern. And this is where you can actually, if you have a rectangle, if you have an open place where you don't want to go, we can place it. Yep. So go ahead and walk through the different placement patterns, Karla.
Now let me start. No, we don't want to, but anyway, you just have different placements, and we'll just use the 4 points. Okay.
So 4 points or blocks are probably the main one, right? If you're quilting it, I would probably choose either a block or a 4 point.
And we're going to just tap on this gray node right there, and I'm going to pull it down. And we're going to do a big bear. Well,
a big teddy bear.
Yes.
So if you guys can see on the screen right there, Karla, so it's nice. They got it nice on the screen. So that's the
bear
bear
my
that
head's in the way.
It was there. So let's go back to that picture again that we had. I think it was,
there you go. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
There,
so now
sorry.
we can see we have the bear place. And so we picked it. Now we told the system we want it in a block. Right now we're going to put that block onto our quilt. So we can come back right over here.
Like
just go ahead and hit
my
quilt.
giant blue head was in the way. Now we're just going to tap on quilt.
And it's connecting. And once it connects, it takes over the machine. And so at this point, you don't have access to the machine, but we will talk about how you can get access over the machine, because you can still do free motion with the automated system.
Right, and I'm just going to tap on sew right now, and you're going to see it move. Now I'm going to move over here so I can go catch my bottom thread.
This is the exciting part of the automation right here, having to do it itself. It's going to be very silent. All right, so now it's going to start.
You stand back and let it do its thing. You don't want to lean up against it.
Maybe really quick, I can come in there while this machine's doing its little pattern, and then maybe I thought maybe I could talk through a couple things with Mark and Karla to have them show us a few of those pieces as it's going through and finishing the sewing process. But I thought maybe I'd just bring this up with everybody here as we're quickly looking at a couple of the details out there. Let's go ahead and bring everybody back on screen here so we can see everybody. And then is it at a spot where it finished the pattern by chance? Is it? Oh, we stopped it. Okay. Good. All right. So with that, I thought maybe what I would look at doing is having you as, well, one, thank you for walking through some of those differences. But Mark, I thought maybe I'd have you, since we have the 3 machines in front of you, we're kind of getting towards the end of our hour as we move into part of the giveaway hour. But what I'd want to do is I'm going to have Karla put her hands on a few things and walk through some things as we maybe talk through that with a few customers. So one is we're seeing a lot of thank you. Karla, you're adorable. Yes, you are adorable. Love those things out there. Question out here, is it compatible with Mac? Currently, no. It does run on Windows. Down the road, we're hoping to do it not only compatible with Mac, but any type of system out there. But really quick with what this is, let's talk outside of the automation, kind of back to the machines. Maybe put your hands and show me some of the similarity between the 19 and the 21 handles. It looks like they look very similar. So maybe if we can get some of that in the screen, we can talk a little bit about what those values are. And I know that we had the 21 first. So with the 21 Pro, we took some of that same technology and we moved that down in the line to the 19. And I know, Mark, you briefly brought up some of this a little bit earlier, but just tell me why and what are the value benefits of this 19 and the 21 Pro? What are those handles and how do they help us out when we're quilting?
Well, let's say we are vertically challenged, right? We're a little
You're short.
And you have to reach back as you continue the machine, right? So as you pull
It's
forward,
a long machine, even
stretch.
for me.
It is a long stretch, and we don't want to have to get on our tippy toes or get on a box to reach back. So we now, with our extended handles, it comes out about, I want to say about 2 inches further to give you that comfortable element as you're quilting. So now when you're quilting, you don't have to worry about that stretch.
And it really does help with your neck and shoulders because you can adjust the handles and you're not feeling the strain and the stress, because quilting is a little stressful, I have to say.
It is. So let's make it comfortable.
Yes.
Right? So that's in the handles, and that's both the same on the 19 and the 21. And then we talked about the screen being bigger on the 21 Pro, and it actually stitches faster. We mentioned that it does 2,600 per minute, Nathan.
All right. So 2,600 stitches a minute. What's the stitch speed on the 19? And then you have the 15 Pro as well. What are those stitch speeds?
So the stitch speed on the 19 and the 15 Pro are the same actually at 2,000. So both of those do 2,000 again, while the Pro does 2,600 on the 21.
All right, and let me ask you
This
this. It
looks like the handlebars again from the 19. They're different than those handlebars on the 15s.
And since Karla's over by the 15, she can kind of briefly talk, but we can see that they are fixed.
Yes, they are, but they're a nice height, and the buttons are easy to push. They're raised. It's very comfortable, and you've got the comfort grips. So you can be sitting and quilting or standing and quilting for a long time, but you're not going to get like this nice sweaty hand or anything like that. It's going to be very comfortable, and you're not going to have to squeeze really, really tight as well. It's just a very smooth, easy, comfortable grip.
So let me kind of add back into that. Each one of those has our custom designed hand grip, right? So we're not just using foam. We've actually designed it. We went and did several different sizes, different materials, and we let a lot of quilters put their hands, and this is an incredibly ergonomic shape for extended use over long periods of time. And then Karla, I like the other thing that you mentioned, which is not the same with most of the other machines out there, is that we have the raised buttons, right? So they're a little bit taller and thicker, so your finger has a definite spot when you're on those, using those. So I like the raised buttons. I'm noticing all those screens, they tilt so that you can also, I know, Mark, you're looking a little bit taller than Karla there. So I'm guessing that your screen angle will be a little different than the Karla screen. I like pointing that out as a simple feature. Again, customization is an important piece of when you're standing in front of that frame and you're using that machine. I think to be able to look at that angle and have that looking at you correctly also is an important piece with that. Simplicity, I know it looks like there was an accessory on the frame, so I'm going to move maybe over to the frame really quick. It looks like I'm seeing some blue clips. Now, those out there in the industry, you might have seen these. And that is a 3-rail system, which means you would have your backing and your top that you can roll. Yes, you can get a 4th rail for batting. And then we have a take-up rail in the throat of the machines. But I'm noticing you have blue clips on there, Karla. Maybe just tell with us why you use that accessory and why you're showing that on the frame. I know that we have a lot of people that are engaging with those same clips in the industry as well.
It's called floating your... Nice about it is it just is easier, the ease of it. You just put your backing on and you'll roll your backing up like you usually would. Roll it on the take-up rail and roll it all the way up on your backing rail. And then you're gonna place your batting on top of that and just let it float. And then you're gonna put your top on and just let it float. And these clips actually give you some extra tension on it, and it makes it easy for you to adjust. And it's just quick and easy, and that's what we're all about. We want everything to be as easy as possible, and so that we can enjoy the quilting part of it.
Great, and maybe Mark, you can answer this question. I'll throw it up there. This is a little bit of a different question because I know our Q-Zone hoop frame and our Queen frame that you can fully sit and stand. Tell us a little bit about the Continuum and how somebody might work at this if they feel like they need to stand, and maybe Karla, you might have some ideas as well.
Yeah, so Kristen is a Continuum frame able to be adjusted down for sitting while quilting. Now it can be adjusted, right? It doesn't go as low as the hoop, which is meant to kind of really sit at if you need to sit at. But there are chairs, right? You can still lower it and get those quilting chairs that you can roll down the length of your frame because you know your machine is going to be traveling that distance as well. So if you're needing to sit, the frame can be adjusted to go lower. And my recommendation, probably yours as well, Karla, right, is to get those quilting chairs that has the casters at the bottom that you can go back and forth.
Right, and make those adjustable as well, so you can make the quilting process as comfortable as possible. And if you can't stand, get a stool. And if you have the automation, it makes it even nicer because you can just sit and watch it quilt while you enjoy looking at it. It's a lot of fun.
It's great. Maybe one thing I'll just bring up here as well, briefly with everybody, is we're ready to transition. Maybe Karla, Mark, if you want to go ahead, and I'm going to put myself on screen. Grab your chairs and do me a favor. I know that one of the giveaways is going to be a light bar. I believe that we have one. I know we have one somewhere, so I'd love to go ahead and bring in a light bar if we can also, and see if there's a plug that we can maybe Drake put that around the Continuum frame for me so that we can take a look at what that looks like as we kind of prep the scene here just a little bit to get Mark and Karla back out there for part of our giveaway hour. Thanks everybody again for joining us. It looks like we have a few more people picking up as they're coming. I just thought I would do another shout out as a thank you and a quick reminder, those who are with us and visiting, one is you can go to our website. Hopefully you can see that at the top of your screen, www.graceframe.com at any time to look at more information. And what I'll do is I'm going to quickly walk through a few things as we finish this last one. Let me go ahead and put my screen up here. We had talked about the automation, and I thought I would point out a couple things as that's the case with a few products. But go to our website. We're going to encourage you to go to our homepage, and you'll notice if you're browsing on any kind of a desktop or a standard PC or Mac or whatnot, up at the top you'll have several different options. We've talked about the Q-Zone hoop frame was one of those frames that we had several things that we had discussions about. There are current sales right now. We're looking at the Q-Zone hoop frame. The standard is on sale for $889, so $889. That hoop frame is coming at this time with the current free luminous light bar, and I brought one out so we can kind of show you one of those, and we're going to be giving a couple of them away here in just a minute. But again, very exciting to see that's there. People are asking about the Continuum frame. You'll notice that you can search the different frames. We have the same things for machines, and if you go into our machine sets, part of what you're looking at is you'll be able to notice that there's a lot of options that you can take a look at, and a lot of just things that help make it a little bit easier for you to kind of search and browse and find some information. So with it as well, I just want to come back and say thank you again, everybody. Appreciate everybody joining us for the fantastic Fall Festival. We're really excited. Please know that we also have just launched today the No Tricks, Just Treats Treasure Hunt that is live. And if you have been with us in the past, I know Karla and Mark, I'm going to go ahead and bring them back in here. It was great having them and walking through the quilts last week. We had a chance to view several of the different quilts that were out there. In fact, let me go bring that up. This is showing a lot of the different categories. Fun thing, just click on inside here, the oops and the surprises as an example. Brings up those quilts you can browse. This is where the treasure hunt is at. So if you're here in the quilts, and as you browse, you'll notice as an example, like we had this little promotional piece pop up, that's where the free items, the treasure hunt items will be, and you'll see it and you'll get a claim and send in your information for us to send you those treasure hunt items. We have several different items, from simple items like true grips and packs of true grips for your rulers and your cutting needs, ruler combos, quilting combos. We have thread packs and much more. So we're excited to have you participate, just really trying to encourage you to browse the quilts that everybody has worked so hard on over your different periods of time, and some years and years and years ago, and some of those are still not even finished maybe. So thanks everybody for being with us. We appreciate you joining us as we look through and talk about some of those key items and those elements. And with it, I thought maybe what we can do is we're going to go ahead and with Karla and Mark, why don't you share with us a little bit? It looks like we now have the light bar back there, and then behind you, kind of go ahead and share again what's in our screen. I know that we had a conversation about the hoop frames and the Continuum frames, and there's machines, but maybe we have new people who've joined us. Just briefly, quickly talk about what you're sitting in front of and kind of what we just finished doing with everybody out there.
Yeah, I'm sitting in front of the camera crew.
There you go.
So yeah, there are a lot of people that joined. One of them in particular was a wonderful girl by the name of Heather. She mentioned some stuff, so shout out to Heather. She sounds pretty. So I just wanted to say
she's also Mark's wife.
She's my wife.
So he can say that.
That is it. So anyway, there's the picture.
And she is very pretty.
Yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, so just kind of a recap, kind of what we talked about. I can't wait to give the giveaway, Nathan. I'm excited to see who's going to get the light bar. But there's a lot of stuff that we went over, right? From the machines and the domestic machines to the frames. Really, the growth path is not that challenging. So it is easy to transition. Yes.
So I'm sitting in front of the new Continuum 2 frame that we'll have online soon. to show you all the features, because our 21 Pros and other machines and frames are selling so quickly that it's exciting. It's very exciting times that we get to transition, not only like you as quilters, from one new style of frame to another. We can enhance certain features, just like the machines. That's why you see the Pro machines, because they have a few enhanced features that the other regular machines don't have. And so we're always thinking of you as a quilter and what would make that quilting experience more pleasurable and more fun and easier, and that transition as well. So yeah, take a look online. We're showing you all our Pro machines in our Suite 19. Not Suite 16, but Suite 19. It's awesome. It's a little lighter weight. Our 15 Pro has 2,000 stitches, just like our 19. They have a nice, easy touch screen. They have the comfortable handles. And then we have our fantastic 21 Pro here. The throat space gives you 21 inches to work with, and you can add the automation to all of our machines. So check that out as well. Anything else you want to go on? Are you sick of me yet?
That was really, really, really good. So maybe I thought I'd bring this screen back up. I was a little premature on that, but let me bring that back up for everybody here to see. And this is part of our giveaway. So we're really excited about being a part and having any of those people who participate win some of the different prizes. These are for anybody and everybody who's participating, even internationally. So we are looking at taking care of those for those people that are entering for these bigger prizes. The ones that we're doing randomly on the wheel today, no, those are for the continental, the 48 states here in the US for the winning today with some of the questions that we've asked and spinning the wheels, which I think maybe we'll do to get this all started here in a minute. Yeah. But as we're going down, we're sitting here today as part of the 27th. And what we're going to be giving away is we're giving away a Q-Zone hoop frame. So lucky winner will win that Q-Zone hoop frame. And what I'll do is I'm going to do this because it's not there. And if I were buying this, I'd be like, hey, what about me getting that? Is we're giving light bar away. So I'm going to up the ante on this. We're going to be giving away the Q-Zone hoop frame with the 5-foot light station that goes over that. And then we're also going to be giving away a couple. I want to do 2 5-foot light bars, 2 10-foot light bars. We're also doing our True Sharp 2, and that's our electric rotary blade sharpener. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll be giving those away here over the next period of time. But let's do this, Mark. Let's go ahead. I'm going to have you stand up if you wouldn't mind. Let's go back to the wheel, yes, and let's talk a little bit about that wheel and some of the prizes we have. Maybe if you can, we can get a close-up on that with our camera. Mark, why don't you go ahead and stand back by that, and then let's go get a close-up. Mark, what I'd like you to do is just with the viewers here, why don't you walk through some of the items that are on there? So why don't you kind of put your hand, talk briefly about that. Don't spend a lot of time because I want to give this wheel a spin, but we'll come up with a question here. But just kind of point out what it is, read what it is, and then tell us why is that exciting. Let's just move through maybe 3 of those items that you have on the wheel.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. So there are several True Cut items. One that is on here that people really love are the True Grips. So there's a pack of 6 True Grips on there. So we need to get a lucky winner to get a pack of True Grips. And that is this color right down, well, somewhere on there. So right there, this one. So a pack of True Grips and the 6. We also have our finesse thread. So we have the 4-pack of solid and 4-pack of variegated. We also have our circle cutter. Now, circle cutter is a great product if you're looking to do circles. Now, it's one that is very easy to use. So that's just a few. We have cutters and rulers and stuff on here as well. But circle cutter, Nathan, the solid and variegated, and also our pack of 6 True Grips.
So, Mark, with that, I just thought I'd bring this up and put it on
the screen. So there I've got on the screen, there's the 360. We're doing the True Sharp 2 is one of those items. The electric sharpener potentially is one of the wins. It looks like we have a couple of the rulers that we have with some of our unique features that are there. So these are some of the items that are on there as well. I think we had a winner earlier win one of the My Comfort cutters. Is that correct?
So we have those. Talk about
finesse thread, which is another one of those items. So I love the finesse thread. Our finesse thread, when we came out with this, and the reason, maybe I'll just tell this quick story, is out there in the industry, we found that people who got involved with the Midarm quilting, moving from domestic into this next area, were like, oh, I need to go buy like 5 spools of threads, and they were trying to find slightly more, but they don't want like 6,000 yards, right? So, and then if you go into a dealer, we found that dealers carry various amounts of different style threads, and often not something that I call project sized for general quilts. So we came out with a 1,500 yard, what we call mini cone, really beautiful colors. There are 60 colors. We actually have 20 solids, and I'll tell you, those things sell like hotcakes. And we have 40 variegated threads as well. And so with these, we've been really excited to have this out there. And then obviously we couple samples in our machines, and we encourage you to look for dealers online for this one as well. Call from us, but I like to call them project size because a 1,500 yards good for like a full medium-sized quilt, or you know, one large quilt or a couple small ones. So it's really good. You can add this and wind this in your bobbins. It's a 3-ply, what we call soft polyester. And what that means is that it's a soft material, and it looks and feels like, I would say, cotton. However, without a couple of the challenges, which I would say, which would be the higher lint. So this is a very low lint, and it's actually a little more forgiving, a little more strong. It has a little more flex in that for our customers to use it. So it's a little more forgiving when somebody moves in from a domestic machine, which is showing at about, you know, 800 to maybe 1,100 stitches a minute, up to 18 to 2,000 to 2,600 stitches a minute. So again, thought I would just point that out quickly. But Mark, we're going to bring and go back to the wheel here, and let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Wait, first let's have a question. What's the question we want to ask for everybody out there?
All right. So the question is this. So in our automated system, there are 3 easy steps, really, to get your picture from the screen to your quilt. So 3 easy steps. What are they?
So go ahead and repeat that one more time for us, Karla. What were they?
No,
sorry. What was the question?
Sure. So 3 easy steps.
Steps for sewing a pattern with the automation, right? Quilting with the automation.
I mentioned earlier, I said there were 3, it was a 3-step process. I mentioned what those 3-step process was, and then actually, Nathan, you put them on your screen there for a minute. So
let's go ahead, and I'm going to throw this up there for everybody to see really quick. And in fact, we'll go back in. Here we go. I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Bring that up for us. I'm not going to make it quite as big. I know some of you might not be able to see this. We're going to scroll down, and we do have 3 easy steps. And these are them. And you can just use 3 words to describe that, is what I would say. We'll make that a little bit bigger for everybody here. And we got a lot of comments going. Again, remember, those who are participating, we're going to choose somebody from Facebook and somebody from YouTube. Ah, there we go. It looks like I'm seeing a lot of our correct answers in here. So let's go back up to the top of my list. We'll get someone here to help write down our winners. Now, again, those who are winning, what I would like to tell you to do is please email sales@graceframe.com. That's SALES @graceframe.com. And that would give you a chance. Here you go, Courtney. That would give you a chance to see and understand and know how to get your prize. So here we go. So we're looking, and I'm going to put this one up, and this would be our first winner, is a Karen McCutcheon.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's give her a round of applause for that win. Now, it is pick, place, and sew, pick, place, and quilt. Simply select a pattern, you place it where you want it to go, and you quilt it, which is exactly what we did. So, Mark, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for her. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what she wins. And let me go ahead and bring that up. Give me a minute here.
combo.
So this is the Quilters combo. Let's go ahead and back out, Chris, if we can get Mark in there as a whole, and we'll talk a little bit about that really quick in the winner.
Yeah, so Quilters combo. This is the best quilting combo we get, a lot of get started, but what it includes is the 45 comfort cutter, the packet of true grips, and in there you get 30, you get 15 large or 15 small rings on the true grips, and then the 6.5 by 24.5 ruler. So as a Quilters combo. Now this combo, you get the features of the track and guide system. So now that you have the ruler and the cutter, you have the guide on the cutter, the track on the ruler, keeps you, again, easy, safe, and accurate with our True Cut system. So congratulations on that, Karen.
Yes.
There you go. There's one of those key features.
There you go. There's one of those key features again, showing how that just works on part of the track. So again, thank you. Congratulations, Karen, very much. And that was our first YouTube. We're going to go ahead and move over to our first Facebook winner. And our first Facebook winner here is Gail Wider O'Grady. And thank you, Gail, for being with us. And let's go ahead, Mark, and spin the wheel and see what Gail's going to be winning for us. It is, again, select place and quilt.
All right. Oh,
nice
a pack
one.
of 6. So True Grips. So let's grab one of those out. So this is one of them. So she gets actually 6 of these True Grips, and that is a value of $48 on that. So $48 to get 6 of these packet of True Grips. So that is another fantastic. And so, Gail, if you have a lot of rulers, what a great way to keep your ruler from sliding. And then the leftover stuff you could also put on things you don't want to slide. But if you have a lot of rulers, that's the prize you want right there. Congratulations, Gail. All right.
With that, Mark, sorry about that.
We're trying to get the right cameras for everyone. I wanted to go ahead and quickly just throw in something.
Can we throw in with that set of True Grips? I want to send a large ruler too. We're going to send the 6.5 by 24.5 ruler as well. Now, I'm guessing, let's just quickly see what we get in some of the comments with everybody who's participating. Put a comment in. I'm curious to see how many rulers you have. Do you have 5? Is it 10? Is it 20? And I know there's a lot of you who have a lot of different cutting rulers. Throw those in the comments. Curious to see where we end up getting on this one. But with that, again, what we'll do, Gail, is go ahead and email sales, S-A-L-E-S, @graceframe.com. We'll go ahead and send you your pack of 6. It's about a $50 value on those True Grips. And again, you can use, usually it's about 1 packet per ruler if you're using big rulers, or you can spread it across a couple smaller rulers with part of that win. Thank you very much. Let's do this as we finish up with Gail on part of that win. We're going to spin the wheel several more times during this hour. What I wanted to do is quickly go ahead and talk a little bit about the light bar. So maybe if we can go to a camera that will show the whole room there for us, it'd be great to take a look and show everybody what we've got going on. And I'm going to make me a little bit smaller here to the side so we can let you guys see that light bar. Go ahead and turn that on and off for us and let us see. Now, Karla and Mark, why and what is the value of having a light bar like this over your system?
Karla, so those who have most rooms, I would say the light is behind us. So you have that shadow. So now we have shadows that are on our quilt. Lining up maybe the fabric with the thread color. So there's a lot of unknowns that could happen if you have no light or less light in your room. So this one, it's an LED light. It is true light, and it actually softens the shadows on your quilt top. So no matter where your lights are in your room, this will soften it so you don't, when you look down, you don't have all these dark spots all over. So for me, having that no shadow is great.
Oh, and it's not hot either. That's another great feature. It's not going to be down on your back as you're quilting and be sweating up a storm. No, this is a soft, cool light.
That's
and
right.
It's going to illuminate your quilt and your stitching and really help you out, because as the eyes get older, there's nothing great about getting old. I'm just telling you.
And then also it can be adjusted too. So no matter what you can adjust this light bar to be taller or shorter.
Right. So you can bring it down on top.
Push it down. And it comes with casters. So you can actually roll this over your whatever surface you want to get that lighting on. So you get LED lights.
Right.
Very cool. They don't get warm. They're height adjustable and very easy to put together.
I'll go ahead and bring that up here really quickly.
You can see it based on.
I love this item. We do sell a lot of right now. It's being given as an accessory. If you buy any one of the current quilting frames, you're getting a luminous light bar based on the size of that frame at no additional cost. It comes as a freebie when it's added on with that. So buy a frame, get a free light bar. And the luminescent light bar, obviously true color, which is incredibly important when you're using your quilts with that. It is LED, so I don't know. I know we briefly talked about that, which means low heat. We're not getting a lot of heat off of that, so it's not warming up your room, and it creates a right amount of light. And I like kind of just showing you here. Also, with the casters, it can be put and wheeled over any surface in your studio area. So I always have a vision of actually putting one out and using it in my garage. I don't have one, but I do a lot of work on my cars and whatnot. So height adjustable, so you can do this for the sitting frames, the standing frames. You can see the casters on there as well. Really a great product. So we're excited. Let's start with this. I want to go ahead and we're going to be giving this away. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and look at our first winner that we can announce regarding this frame in this system. And let me go ahead and pull up our name for our winner.
I also just want to make some comments. So I see, again, a lot of comments coming in. Thank you for your comments. I know we can't get to all of them. I also want to thank for everybody who's, where they're at and the product they own. Thank you again. There's a lot of on there, Sharon Nash loves her light bar. Joyce, love to have, and that just moved away from me. Sorry, Joyce. But there's a lot of comments. So keep them coming. It's fun to see and read what you quilters have and what you want. So
you don't have to have a grace frame to have a light bar. No. I mean, it will work with other systems out there, and a lot of quilters, that's one of those features. They need more light. So yeah, check out the light bar right now.
And that's why we did it with the casters, freestanding, so that it's not connected to any frame. It is a freestanding light bar, so you can roll that to any frame that you would want. So it makes it easy to go over another frame you might have, or your cutting table that you're doing. So it makes it very
So with the 10-foot, it's adjustable to make it smaller. The 5-foot, you can't add to it. So that's one of those features that when you're looking for a light bar for your system, take into consideration that the 5-foot, you can't add to it to make it a 10-foot, but the 10-foot, you can make it smaller.
Absolutely. Okay, wonderful. But anyway, I just wanted to just comment on all these comments. So thank you for the comments. Keep them coming, and we appreciate it. All right, do we have a name?
Well, so here we do. We do have a name. And what I'd like to do is we're going to kind of stagger some of these giveaways. First off, what I'd like to do is give away the 5-foot light bar. So congratulations again one more time, and how people are able to win. I don't know if everybody knows. I'm pretty sure most people know. I'm going to bring this back up. Is you can go ahead if you come and click on the Grace Frames main website. So I'm showing you here, if you come to our main website, you can click on this upper banner. When you click on this banner, it takes you right into our fantastic fall festival, which we're doing now. And you'll notice right up on top, enter to win. So that's as simple as that. Put your name in, and that is where we're coming up and drawing the names for these major winners. Again, today we've done several giveaways, Karla and Mark, that we've been spinning the wheel with participants. Those are something that's a little bit different. We're doing those for the continental 48, the contiguous 48 states here for the live drawings that we're doing right now. We are picking the winners. In fact, I just had Michael, our one of our graphics in our web programmers, quickly do a random poll for these winners that we have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our first winner. 5-foot is what it is. Let me go pull that light bar up really quick. This is what we're giving away. We're giving away the 5-foot light bar, and we are fortunate to have the winner, and it is Becky Buckholtz. And I'm going to put her name in here so everyone can kind of see what that is. I don't have it on the screen, but it is Becky Buchholz. Congratulations, welcome, and thank you for participating. We're really enjoying everybody's comments and as they participate with what we're doing. What I'd like to do is I'd like to go to another free spin giveaway, which means we'll choose somebody from Facebook and somebody from YouTube for another item. Then we're going to come back and give away a 10-foot light bar. Then I want to go do another drawing. Then I want to come give a couple more light bars away. Then I want to go do some more drawings that we're spinning the wheel for, and then I'll come back and we'll give away the hoop frame to kind of move through this. So with this, let me go ahead and bring everybody up. And Mark, we're going to have you at the wheel here. Question, Karla, what would be the question that we will pose
I have a good one
to everybody?
Mark just did a shout out to a beautiful girl. And if anybody can say her name, that would be fantastic. You will get a prize from the spinning wheel. Do you remember her name? Maybe it's a little too difficult.
No, I want a prize. Maybe I'll answer that because I need some more trivia.
Marks with a comma.
Oh, somebody's got it. Yeah. Awesome. Way to go. You're listening. That's good.
All right.
That's awesome.
Go ahead.
Did we find a winner?
We do have. Here we go with everybody. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for a minute, but let's go ahead and choose. We have the first winner here. Moving through with what we're looking at for Mark's wife's name. Sorry, thank you. We got a whole lot of the pick, paste, and sew. A lot of people. We've got a lot of correct answers. It is Heather, so yes. Somebody said Yoda. No, that's not it. Close with Yoda. Yes, thank you, Lynn Gunder. By the way, shout out. I'm not part of it, but excited about watching that series that starts back up on Friday. So yeah, no, it was not Michelle. And yes, it was Heather. Sorry, there's a lot here. Thank you, everybody, for joining in and participating. I swear I was very close to the bottom of that list. Here we go. Heather. No, it was not Nancy. Sorry, Deb. Was not Lisa. So close. Here we go. Quick question. Boom. Here we go. Debbie is the first one we have on YouTube. So congratulations, Debbie Rushforth. Thank you very much. It is Heather. Thank you for paying attention. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel for her. Let's see what she's got going on.
Let's do it. The linear sharpener.
This is a good one.
So that is awesome. So the linear sharpener is, again, our sharpener. You can keep it on your cutting table. It uses a diamond stone, and that is the key ingredient on why this works. So if you have a lot of dull blades, or if you're cutting quite a bit, this is perfect. You keep this on your cutting table. You go from sharpening to cutting. And this is also one of our good sellers because of our sharpening. You don't want to have a dull blade. So that's perfect. So congratulations on that win. And again, this is our linear sharpener.
All right, so great. So with that, really quick, Karla, with part of what this is, tell me again. I know that we've had this for a few years, some years. It's a very, very well selling. You know, what have you heard anything from our users out there at all? And then also, as Mark mentioned, some people would also ask, does it work on my cutter with my cutter's blades? Maybe you can answer that for everybody here quickly.
It does not work on titanium blades. They're just not good for sharpening, but on other blades, yes, it does. It works well with other cutters. You just slide it through, and then you'll turn it and slide it through, and you're ready to cut. And it does. It works. It keeps it sharp. It's what I have next to my cutting table, and I keep my blades going for as long as I can. I don't like to stop cutting because I just want to get all my cutting done and go to the sewing machine and get my quilt tops done.
And wonderful. With that, you know, I did I'm looking through as I'm browsing again. I did see that there was one other above this, and we're going to write this down. I'm going to pass out and give another linear sharpener to Adana Christian. So Adana Christian, I went up and I should have gone a little bit more. So we ended up with 2 winners on that from the YouTube, and then we're going to go find our Facebook again. So Adana Christian, welcome. We're going to give you that linear sharpener as well. And we're going to move down here to our first. This was our first Facebook winner, and we're going to draw. We're going to spin the wheel for this one. So just we'll come back here for a minute. Are we good? We're going to go ahead. This is our next winner is Taryn Mack. I'm just checking with our background. We go Taryn Mack. We have Taryn Mack. We've got the name for her. We're going to go ahead. Taryn Mack, right? Or we're going to go and spin. Let's spin to win.
Spin to win. I like that. So square ruler.
Square ruler.
So this is
square.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. So a 12.5 by 12.5 square. Perfect. It has the track as well for the comfort cutter, but you can also use any cutter or ruler. Any cutter with this ruler. So it doesn't have to be our comfort cutter, but this is the square ruler. Again, great for squaring up your blocks. Works with any rotary cutter. 1/8-inch measurements and easy to read grid lines. So, and the other thing you notice, there's holes throughout all of those, and that's good for holding down, for marking through.
And for reading, it makes it easier.
But Nathan, so this is just one ruler. Whoa, we have this. Yes.
We're only giving away one ruler. Can anybody tell me why we're giving away one ruler? We need to up the ante. I think we need to give away all of the square rulers. That would be 3 rulers. Up the ante, Taryn McWright. Woo! Not just 1. Let's do 2. Let's do 3. And hook her up. Yes. Based on some Halloween. Business in the front, party in the back. Creepy eyes. Oh, just kidding. All right. Thanks for staying with us. And that's it. Hijacking it again. Woo!
That cousin of Nathan right there, he keeps coming in. But absolutely, I thought that was great. Instead of 1 ruler, let's do 3, like he said. So as you can see here, we're actually going to do the 6.5 by 6.5 square, the 9.5 by 9.5 square, as well as the 12.5 by 12.5 square. So all square rulers are yours. So congratulations on that win.
All right, good deal. Let's
wonderful. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and let's do another giveaway. We're gonna do a 10-foot light bar, luminous light bar. By the way, I didn't really talk about the value on our 5-footers is $450. And what we've got right now is we're going to go ahead and give away a 10-foot light bar valued at normally $599. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. The winner we have, I'm going to go ahead and put this on so we can get this in front of everybody, is going to be Mary Hobner, is what I want to say. Mary Hobner. So let me go ahead and put her name up. Mary, Haubner. Let's go ahead. This is the winner. So Mary Hobner, congratulations on winning the light bar. Let me go ahead and bring that up again really quick. This is the luminous light bar. So what you're winning here as part of this is you're going to be able to set up the 10-foot light bar. Can be put, if you need to extend it to 12, you can get a 2-foot extension, but it works at over any 10-foot frame, 8-foot frame, 5-foot frame, or if you have any work surface, you can also build it at the 5-foot. Keep the extra parts when you want. Remember that this frame does have the casters and the wheels, height adjustability, wonderful, beautiful lighting, great over your machines, any of your sit-down systems that are out there. LEDs, I want to say it has a 20,000 hour life on the bulb, so kind of forever. With those going out for a long time, 20,000 hours. And then the true color LEDs are really important in order to see the quilts in your colors correctly with what you're doing. So again, congratulations to Mary on winning that one. Well, let's go and do another wheel spin, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to give away 2 more light bars, and then I want to give away our hoop frame. We'll talk briefly about that for our winner on the hoop frame. So we're going to go back here to our Will. Let's come up with a question. If we have a question, we can kind of do. Let's stay on camera 3 for a minute while we look at our questions with what's going on. What's our question, Karla? Next question.
Yeah, you have.
What is the name of our automation
System?
Yes.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. There's a couple correct answers on this, but she is asking, Karla is wondering, what is the name of our automation system?
Spin the win.
Oh, another one.
Linear
Nice.
sharpener.
What's a good price?
Yeah, that's a great price.
We're going to up the ante on this. We're going to get a linear sharpener. Let's spin it again and give her 2 gifts on this one.
I'm going to hold this in my hand. We're going to go again. Watch it land on linear sharpener again. And it did.
You called it, Mark.
And it did. So we're going to go
We want to get her something else.
Go the other direction here.
What's it gonna be?
The circle
Oh,
cutter.
nice.
Circle cutter.
All right, so we have 2 gifts that we're going to give. We're going to give, it's Wala Al Salmi here. Congratulations. It is QCT5. We also refer to it in the olden days as the Quilt Motion. That's what we're going to be sending. Remember to send an email, sales, S-A-L-E-S, sales@graceframe.com in order to receive your reward. Again, those who are joining, if you haven't been with us, we are looking for those people on these spinning the wheel gifts to be in the local 48 states, the contiguous 48 states. So with that, Mark, maybe give us a quick what's up on that 360 cutter.
It actually has a wide skid, as you can see there on the screen. So it has a wide skid, and that keeps the fabric from wanting to bunch up underneath as you make your cut. So when you go in a circle, it has a 18mm blade underneath this blue knob. It also has the pin right here on the front. So you press both those down, then you just make one simple cut around and you have your circle. And again, that wide skid keeps the fabric from wanting to bunch underneath or move. It makes you can cut on and off the fabric. This goes from 2 to 12 inches on the circle, so 2 to 12 inches.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was for Wala Alsami. Now, the first winner on the next one, and again, I'm just going to ask everybody's opinion. We do call it QCT, but the current version is 5. Is it more correct to call it the QCT 5, or we want to giving it for QCT? What do we want as an agreement? Can we all decide on what we want to do on that? Any thoughts on it? 5, we're going to 5. We're hearing that the real term is QCT 5 is what is current version. With that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose Pat K. Pat K is our winner. Let's go ahead and do a close up on that wheel, and let's give a spin for Pat K and see what Pat K is going to be winning.
All right. The 6-pack of True Grips. So another great. So True Grips. Again, these are adhesive rings. They go on the back of any ruler. They are clear. And they do not take your view away from what you're cutting. So you can still see through your ruler. It doesn't obstruct your view, but they are clear adhesive rings. And they can go ahead and put them on any ruler. It comes 30 into a pack of these, so 30 small and 30 large, and you have 6 of these coming your way, Pat. So 6 pack of True Grips.
All right.
I would say congratulations, but Mark, can we up the ante on that one more too? So we're doing 6. Let's double down on that. Let's put 12. I think that's a near $80 value. Again, for those of you who have your rulers, Pat, we're going to give you 12 sets. Maybe there's a couple friends. You can share them with some friends. We'll send you 12 of those packets. Each one has 30 in there. So that's 2 thumbs up. I think what that 6-pack was, I actually think if we were correct, we're going to give away, let's double it, because we were doing 2 of our current True Grips, which those of you that don't know, we've had them for years and years. We then have what we call Apple Grips, which are different shapes, a little more opaque, meant for if you're going to be rulers with really tight angles or edges on them. If you're going to be doing a lot of cutting or fussy cutting, or you doing applique cutting, they work fantastic. And we also have Supalin True Grips, which is a new set. Each one of those comes with 2 pads in there. So let's double it. We were doing 2 of each for a total of 6. That means we'll do 4 each of those. So that's a good win, a fun win, and that actually is probably going to be closer to right around the $90-$95 mark. So congratulations to Pat K on the win on that one. Let's go ahead and come back to the last thing that we want to do is not last thing. Let's go ahead and give away 2 light bars. So we're going to have 2 light bar winners. And let's go ahead and go back to Grace Company. I want everybody to see this light bar as we give these 2 things away here for a minute. There we are.
I love all these giveaways, Karla.
Yeah, I love giving it away.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we have a winner on one of the 5-footers that we're going to do. And let's go ahead and put her name up here for everybody to see. And the winner of the first one, and let's do the 5-footer first. We're going to have Judy. Last name is Splitstoster, Splitstoester. Good name, strong name. Love the name. That's what we're going to do if we got that correct. So thank you very much. Congratulations to Judy on the 5-foot luminescent light bar, $450 value that we're going to do. Now, again, these are the people who've been with us and who've entered their names to draw in order to be part of this event that we've got going on right now. So it is. I was going to say, my name's a little crazy. Everybody, so you don't know, and I'm not sneezing, is Urznosnik. And you can remember ears, nose, neck. Ears, nose, neck, Urznosnik. So not quite the same, a little different, could be just as difficult potentially. So congratulations, Judy, on that one. And what I'd like to do is let's go ahead and give away let's go ahead and give away a 10-foot light bar. And the winner to the 10-foot light bar is going to be Shelly Brown. Shelly Brown is our winner. Good, easy winner. Shelly, we are not going to tell everybody, but this Shelly has a Hotmail account. So hopefully, Shelly, if there's a couple Shellys out there, don't know, but congratulations, Shelly, on the 10-foot luminescent light bar. Again, what we're giving away is this same light bar. Just again, as a quick reminder, this light bar does a lot of different things. If you're buying that and this is the 10-footer, you can set it up at multiple sizes. True color LED lighting technology. That means it's low heat, low watts. Works for anything because it actually comes on casters. It can be moved around. You can move it over a frame. You can move it over your cutting table or your cutting station if you need to. The other nice thing about it with its casters and its height adjustability is it can be put on different work surfaces or over different work surfaces. If you're interested, we would encourage you to look at the current promotions and see the different specials we have on these things as we're doing this. But what I want to do is I want to go do another spin, and then we'll give away our final prize. So let's go do a spin the wheel. So we're going to go ahead and do a spin the wheel. So here's the question.
I know.
Thank you for all of your wonderful questions. I am looking for your last question that we will use right now. What's it gonna be?
Okay, we're doing something different. When you look at the quilt, it's a new,
That's good. That's a new good thing. What is the new? I'm gonna call it an event. Not an event. It's a new thing that we're doing as part of Halloweenish kind of a thing. Seek. Yeah, kind of seeking. What are we calling this? What is it? What did we just institute today? What are we doing for giveaways? How does that? That's a great question, Karla. What are we doing for giveaways right now as we go throughout the rest of the week here and into the weekend?
Go and check it out. I mean, you're on your computers, so.
If you don't know, as part of what we're doing today, what is the new thing that we just talked about that we mentioned this morning as we've been and as we've going through this? What is, oh my goodness, everybody, this is the same thing. We're going to get like 900 million. 900 what is not right. Whoa, that was number 50. Sorry, I got to go back up. Like, we're going way back up. A lot of congratulations for the 10-foot winners. A lot of congratulations for the spin winners. And we've got it. We're coming back up. So I'm going to have some verification over here. If you come over here and look at this with what we got right here. Okay, so here we go. Congratulations, winners. And I have that this is the first one. But do we want to call it this or it's really this? Checking, because that's not what it is. I think we're gonna go. Here's our first Facebook winner. I'm gonna put up here. This is for a Marty Swanson. Congratulations, Marty. It is a treasure hunt. It's a treasure hunt is what we're doing. Thank you for joining and listening. Again, I will put this up since I'm already there and I can show you the treasure hunt.
It's kind of fun, so you need to check it out.
There you go. If you look up at the top, you can see this big orange banner right up here. See details on how to win. It's being done in our quilt show and tell. So if you weren't here earlier, again, go into the quilt show and tell. And as you scroll through and you're looking at all the pretty quilts and you're voting, every now and then something's going to come up and it's going to pop up one of those awards. And again, we've got them kind of timed randomly. So it's not all like all of a sudden everybody can win all those. There's 90 different items that we're going to be giving away between now and Sunday for those people that are browsing the quilts. I would encourage you, upload your quilt. If you haven't put a quilt in here, I'll tell you, it's been one of the most fun things that we've done as we've looked through those. Karla, maybe you can quickly share. I'll bring some of them up on screen.
It just makes me feel at home with you quilters because I'm experiencing the same things that you go through. I'm not finishing a quilt, pulling it out, not liking it. Something goes wrong. We're in it together, and it's just fun to hear that I'm not alone.
All right, with that, so the winner, we're going to spin the wheel, Mark. Let's go ahead and give him a prize. Marty Swanson.
Quilters combo.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, can I do this because it's like sitting on the line? Can I give away both those prizes to Marty? You're right with that if I give them?
Read what it says on the other side.
I got, a big camera. It's a 4-pack. I can read that from here on a super tiny screen. So Marty, you're a winner. Marty Swanson, we're going to give you the Quilters combo and a 4-pack of finesse threads. And I'm going to throw in our variegated is what we're showing our colors. So Mark, just briefly tell us, and then we'll choose. I have the second winner here for what the title was here for our treasure hunt.
All right. So quick shipping on the Quilters combo, you get the 45 pencil cutter, you get the true grips, And then you get the very popular 6.5 by 24.5 ruler. So great prize on that one. Good job on that, Marty. And then the finesse thread. I'm going to come over this side. And the finesse thread is our variegated, and much like Karla mentioned earlier, our variegated thread is like our solid thread. It is 50 weight. It's 1,500 yards, so perfect for one large quilt and multiple smaller quilts. So you get a 4-pack of the variegated thread, and these thread colors are the most popular thread colors.
Yeah, and they're beautiful colors.
Yep. So you get the 4-pack of thread.
And it quilts beautifully, so it lays on the fabric very nice.
All right. So Marty, congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations, Marty.
Awesome.
Oh,
All right,
Judy.
with that, I'm going to come back on here really quick. So, Mark, before we spin this at all,
what I want to
look at is congratulations.
both those sets away. That was a pretty good win
for you. Judy Delot. Anybody with me on that one? Judy, thank you. Congratulations, Judy. We're going to spin for you. This is the first YouTube again. We had a lot of people putting scavenger hunt. This isn't necessarily a scavenger hunt, really just a treasure hunt, something you're going to go in and you're going to browse through. We're not asking you to find different things and different items. So good guesses. Love everybody guesses. We're going to classify the treasure hunt. And right now, that's Judy. Let's go ahead and spin for Judy, Mark.
What's going to be?
Oh, the square rulers.
All right, square rulers. Let's go ahead. And that's going to be a 3-pack. I'm going to up it. It does say the square ruler, which is our 12.5 by 12.5 square ruler. We're going to make that a 3-pack. Mark, do you have those 3 to show really quick? I know everybody, several people might have seen those, but let's just show that is what we're going to be giving Judy. And let's spin one more for, let's toss a second prize out for her as well. And by the way, my crowd, my group is doing so good at following all this impromptu stuff. So thanks for being patient with us as we're throwing it. They're scrambling, they're writing it down, they're pulling stuff out. So thanks everybody for being patient. Let's give her one more spin. Let's throw something else. Actually, let's just add the comfort cutter is what I want. We're gonna put the 45 millimeter My Comfort Cutter as part of that.
Oh, there it is.
Winner. Way to go. Way to win. Congratulations on that one, Judy, on that. So with that, let's go ahead. We're kind of getting close to coming up on our next presenter, Leah Day, that'll be with us. So let's go ahead and give away the last big prize. We do have a winner on that. I'm going to just briefly pull this up and just really quickly walk through this particular product. It is the Q-Zone hoop frame. And this frame, if you can see here as we go through all of this, I'm going to bring this up on the side, is a frame that we say we know you're going to love. It's great because it allows you to start with your domestic machine. And with that domestic machine, you can go ahead and it gives you this freedom of movement. So you can move it around. Hold on here. Let me turn off some of these other things we got here so everybody can see this. It makes it easy to move around the machine and glide it over the surface. Karla mentioned this earlier. It's like drawing versus pushing and struggling in the motion of managing the weight of your fabric. So it helps manage your fabric for you. Outside of that, it also, and again, those of you who will have a lot of other questions. If you haven't seen this, come here to this page. It's loaded with questions. We have videos. Call our 800 number as well, 1-800-264-0644 for any questions you might have. But it allows you to take your domestic machine, and that domestic machine sits here on this carriage, and then you can move it around and it will quilt any size quilt. I'm going to get down here up to king size, so we're not limiting your functionality in your system. And then the other thing that's really nice is, as we like to kind of tease again, that doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's about 36 inches deep to 42 there, and it's about 54 inches wide. We say about the size of a medium-sized desk versus all those bigger systems out there. So it's much smaller, and it's adjustable. So you can start with your domestic, and then Karla, Mark, we can go up to, what size machine can we go up to on this?
19.
So again, one more time, what was that size? I'm not sure if we're always hearing, catching.
19.
There we go. All right. Sorry.
I say that because we're 19.
All muted, not muted at different times. So thanks for being with us on this. So up to 19. So with that, the winner, we're going to go ahead and bring the winner of the Q-Zone hoop frame up. And this winner is, here we go. Edit, Rebecca. So now the question is, what is Rebecca, what is her last name? And the last name of the Rebecca who is winning this as I continue to talk to everybody. And they're going to say, why don't you just get it? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Rebecca Campbell. Congratulations, Rebecca Campbell. There we go. Winner, Rebecca Campbell. Congratulations on your new Q-Zone hoop frame. So wonderful. Thank you very much for participating in the show. We're going to go ahead and we're just preparing to bring Leah Day on. So stay with us here for about another 4 minutes. And then we'll do an introduction to Leah Day. Those who haven't been with us or weren't with us last week, Leah Day is doing a series. And so you can go watch her videos from last week. It's part of a basket weave, and she's doing this and integrating this with automation as well. And she's walking through that process and how she does that process. And so it's pretty exciting to see her as she's transitioned. And if you haven't watched her previous, she talks about her experience as a quilter, starting with domestic machines as she kind of migrated and moved through that experience in the mid arms and long arms. And she's become a lot more versed in her skill sets as well. And it's been really fun to partner with Leah Day. So with that, Mark and Karla, I'll go ahead and bring the two of you back up on here. Anything specifically? I know that this festival has been a very fun event. Any other thoughts you'd like to share about Leah Day with everyone?
Oh, well, I know we both feel that she's come, like she's been using our product when we first had our sit down Qnique, and so very well known. She's so like polite and she's very smart in what she does too. So having her be able to own a Qnique product and talk about it, that's just great. She's a great ambassador to the quilting world, and what an opportunity we have to be able to listen to her.
Well, and she's also having your same experience. So she started small and gone up to the larger arm machines, and now she has a 21-inch machine that she uses. But she's from that grassroots of quilting and experiencing the same experiences that you are and sharing them with you. And what a great way to learn and grow from somebody else's experiences. I wish our kids were more like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But we as quilters are.
Yes.
I just wanted everybody to be quiet for a minute. Shh. I'm just kidding. Like everybody's just so quiet. Like, what's going on? It's like, it's silent. I was like, the audio go out. No, our audio's still working. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody who's had a chance to participate. Those who've joined our live show and have helped share content. Thank you for those who've been streaming. We really do, again, appreciate that. Please make sure to continue to leave comments if you have those as we continue to move throughout the rest of the evening. And then and come back. And I'm going to, again, encourage you to go try that, the Trick or Treat treasure hunt on the site. So if you go to the Fantastic Fall Festival, and you can see that there's some information on there, so a couple rules, but if you browse the quilts and you're doing so, you'll notice that over the next few days, we're going to give away several different prizes for those people who are viewing and sharing and participating in that process again. So thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your evening, and we look forward to meeting again.